Whoa, what's up? It's your man Rico. That's see my Jimmy right there. I got on my Jimmy today. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. Put a couple of shirts. It's got Jimi Hendrix on the cover. I like Jimmy. It's your man Rico. Rico the Opinionist. Go ahead, go on over to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe. You know, we're trying to get about the 1,500, 2,000 subscribers. So we can turn it into a podcast and we can do our thing. Y'all know how I do. I love to take a stroll on a beautiful evening. It's nice. Damn near perfect. It looked like it was trying to rain, but right in a little cool in the air. Anyway, y'all, I got a chance to see two what I call iconic concerts in the last week, and I did that. I was able to see the concerts because y'all know my little side hustle. I think it's called like crowd management. You get to work concerts, football games, basketball games, whatever. You know, it's some of me doing guest services like /security. Get to do that. So across Dallas, Fort Worth to go to different places and do it. And so Saturday night I was in Dallas and worked in Dallas and got a chance to work the Kendrick Lamar SZA concert. But I'm going to get to that in a second. I want to talk about AC/DC. Those of you who were into MTV and the rock back in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. Shook Me All Night Long and Thunder something. Thunder, boom, boom, boom. You ever been to a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader or Dallas Cowboy game? The cheerleaders come out on that Thunderstruck, yeah. And they got a couple more songs. I knew at least 4 of their songs. But the reason I brought up AC/DC, you know, those guys have been rocking since the 70s, late 70s. The original lead singer, I think something happened to him, and they got the new guy who wears the hat, who's become known for wearing the hat. And, you know, that little loud, squeaky voice, screechy voice. Well, he's still holding it down. And also, all of us know the star of the show is the guitar player, Angus. And he does his, he's got very popular, not only for being just a damn slamming rock out guitarist, but also he does the little Chuck Berry. He's known for doing the Chuck Berry dance, like kicking his leg in front of him as he goes across the stage. And of course, everyone was waiting. The crowd was waiting, of course, about 60,000 plus people in there. Isn't it something that those old acts, that the older acts from the 80s and the early 90s can still attract a crowd of about 60, 70,000 people, and the tickets aren't cheap. I mean, it was crazy. And they came out to see AC/DC rock out, and those 70-something-year-old dudes, man, killed it. They did like a 2-hour show up there. And Angus didn't disappoint. He did, as soon as he broke out that move across the stage, man, the crowd went nuts. Went crazy. So, shout out to AC/DC. You know, if you grew up in the 80s like me and MTV, because the first 3 years of MTV, they didn't have any black artists, just strictly pop and rock. And so I learned all of the pop and rock songs. Even the very first song that they played was "Video Killed the Radio Star," and "Don't You Forget About Me." Nice day for a white wedding, and what else? And I ran so far away, walked like an Egyptian. All of that. I was doing all of that. So, you know, that was the 80s rock, MTV. Then the box came, and then BT came, Video Soul and all this different stuff. But for the first 3 years, it was MTV. Until Michael Jackson, broke the color line and introduced us to Billie Jean. And then next thing you know, Prince came with, I think, with 1999. I think he came with 1999. Yeah, something like that. But yeah. So, but anyway, earlier today I did a live and I was talking about rap music, in particular in my hometown, Memphis, Tennessee, and across the board, how it's really, how can I say, it's really degraded down to the nonsense that they're playing now. It's not the hip hop that I grew up on. You know, we were able to listen to the music, party, dance, and we survived. See, I'm still here. Now, we had the Heavy D's, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Queen Latifahs, and even gone up to the 90s with Diggable Planets and people like that, and Tribe Called Quest, The Roots. Well, that's a little further, but let me go back further in the 80s. Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, you know, songs that had us partying. We weren't at each other's throats. Now, this is not to say that we wasn't getting down to UGK and Ghetto Boys and any of that now, so I'm not gonna play like that wasn't going on. And then, of course, there was Uncle Luke's little nasty butt. Bop that coochie, hey, bop that coochie, it's your birthday, and naming everybody. And so let me get across the street here, y'all. Yeah, but my point is, there was a blend. They would play a Luke Campbell, then they'll play Fight the Power. They'll play it. It was a balance. But in the last 15 years or so, they've thrown, 20 years, they've thrown away the balance of hip hop and ushered in nothing but rap. And so they all in the videos with the guns and the switches and talking about gangs and killing other black folks and all that. All of that nonsense is out there. And then in the last 5 years, they brought in more women. This new wave of raptresses, and they are ratchet rap females, tattooed up, BBL up, talking about their coochie and get tricking dudes out of money and all that kind of mess. You know, MC Light just talked about Georgie Borgie, who kissed all the girls and made them cry. And she said she wanted a roughneck, but it wasn't like the way these bras we talking about today. So, and I'm mentioning all that because in this genre of rap music, there are some lyricists out there. By the way, yeah, in hip hop, there was lyricism, meaning these guys were, you know, they were actually intelligent enough to do some real intelligent wordplay. And they didn't cuss as much as these little brats do today. Cussing wasn't their go-to. And you had, rappers use, I think, the N-word here and there. When it got further down south, they started using the N-word real hard. These southern rappers, they really, you know, thank God for, what's my man named out of Atlanta? Me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Andre 3000 and his partner. The name will come to me. What's the name of that rap duo? Damn, they came out in 95, 96. You had the Dungeon Family to come out of there, and you had, what's the name of that damn, I think that one of their first albums was Aquemini. So, but I'll get to it in a second, because sometimes I have brain farts from talking about stuff. But anyway, I had the pleasure of witnessing, Kendrick Lamar in concert, and with special guest or co-host SZA. Y'all know SZA, she's almost like an alternative soul kind of, she's one of those alternative kinds, because you can't really put her in soul music, R&B. She's also a pop artist as well. She has hits on the pop charts. And so I personally have always appreciated Kendrick Lamar. As a lyricist, as a creative, he's pretty good. I like the way he puts on the show. He believes in giving a production. That's what I like about him. But I couldn't I couldn't listen to his CD because, like, and people are saying that he's so intelligent. He's this, he's a lyricist and all of this. My question is, Kendrick Lamar, if y'all ever see him, Kendrick tells good stories, but Kendrick, again, awesome talent. He respects the audience. He puts on a show. He has production and all of that. But why do you have to curse so much? And why are you so in love with saying N-word? I mean, let me go to the show. I said, okay. I knew a few of his songs, and the beats were popping. But what's so wonderful about the show, and it was good, damn good show. If you haven't gone to Kendrick Lamar, if you have plans, I think this is the third show on their tour. And if you're interested in going to see the brother, y'all should go, because he really puts on a wonderful production. Him and SZA, they were the perfect balance. Because when he came out there, nobody knew where their seats were. Everybody was standing up on top of seats and everything. He had the crowd rocking. Every song he brought out was a hit. And SZA, what she brings to the whole production is she brings that sensual soul in her dancing and all in her new BBL. And I think she can get, well, anyway, I'm not gonna go there, but she brings her butterfly locust effects, and they played a lot of vignettes during it and during their show. It was, very well done. Shout out to him. What's up, Coach Cheese? Hey, Marquette. But very well done show. I enjoyed it. I had to literally just numb out nigga. See, this is why I don't buy rap music. Do y'all know this is the first rap show, and I didn't pay for it. I was happened to be at work. But I wanted to see it because, SZA, and I like Kendrick a lot. However, I can't do these rappers because I'm not going to sit up as a mature man in my mid-50s with a rocket pack heading 60. With a rocket pack on my back. Zooming to 60. I can't sit there and listen to nigga for 2 hours. And I'm not a prude at all. But when you get older, you're supposed to mature. You're supposed to. And so I don't see how black people sit around and pay people to yell nigga all night long, to pay them to call them a nigga. That's weird. You pay somebody to racially insult you. So was also very awkward. His show's not just black folks. His show is really very diverse. Black folks, white folks, biracials, Indians, everybody's in that damn show. Hispanics, everybody's in that show. And they all holler nigga. Then he did the song, Stop Saying Nigga. I guess that must have been to Drake, but you need to stop saying nigga, Kendrick Lamar. And it's so unfortunate, SZA even yelling nigga in some of her songs. I'm like, really, SZA? You're supposed to be above that with your little gypsy, sultry, twirling, moving self. I just, Yeah, I know she gained about 40 pounds because she didn't like being slender, but she's lost some of them. When she first came out, that BBL and that new weight gain, about 60 pounds, she was a little thick-ass, chubby little stuffed pig. She was. And she did stuff to her face, and I really hate that because she was so cute. She's cute now, but I saw her original face. Look at her first videos. Beautiful chocolate sister with original nose, beautiful lips. And she allowed the insecurities of, I guess, the rap industry and to just send her insecurities raging because she's a slender chick. Matter of fact, she did gymnastics in high school, and she's very, very limber. And she stretches. And her nose looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer nose. No, if y'all remember the Christmas movie when we were little, and the little reindeer girl kissed him, he said, I'm cute, and his nose, woo, woo, woo. That's what she looked like. But she's still good in chocolates, and she's lost some of that weight. She's not that stuffed pig that she was when she first came out last year. She's been in the gym, and she's put it together, and she's lost, Found myself might be catching feelings for SZA. She old enough, she 35. Ugh, and she exudes a particular level of femininity in her movement and how she just kind of rolls and everything, just like, young lady, good, hush your mouth. And it's not a jiggly curviness either. It's a gymnast tone kind of. And I didn't know that she did that song, Make That Ass Clap, to the beat. Make that, like, what? I didn't know she did that. And I really appreciated all her songs and everything. You know, I like music, but I don't like music that insults me. And so that's the conflict I have with Kendrick Lamar. He makes songs that make sense, songs that, you know, his music. I like the music. I like his creativity. I think if I were to put a rapper to as it relates to an entertainer, I would put him up there with MC Hammer. MC Hammer back in the late 80s, early 90s, when you went to an MC Hammer show, he gave you a show, a full production. And that's what I like about Kendrick Lamar. I like anybody who respects the consumer. That's why, you know, I don't have too many critiques as it relates to performances about Beyonce. Beyonce, she's from that old school of entertainment when I grew up in the 80s. You know, the videos that were awesome. Michael Jackson, Prince, everybody had a fire-ass breakdown, dance breakdown in their videos. These videos now, all these chicks show up in bathing suits, bent over. They don't have a really real dance routine. Even the pop artists had dance routines. They was chilling. And then when they did their shows, they were doing it. So forgive me if I've been spoiled by a particular standard of performance. Michael Jackson and others. And so Kendrick Lamar takes me back to the old school of how performers should do when you come to see them live. And number two, Beyonce does the same thing. But that damn SZA, yes. And so all of the floor. Yeah, I'm like, but also he'll come out and he'll start the show. Then she'll come in. Then they do those 2 or 3 songs that they have as duets. They did those together. And then they had the explosions. And they had the dancers. And let me tell y'all this: all of Kendrick Lamar's female dancers, if I ever threw a barbecue, all of them are invited. And one thing about that damn Kendrick Lamar, he does believe in black. His wife may be racially ambiguous, but in his shows and his images, he put on not racially ambiguous chicks. He put on real black chicks, that good Hershey's chocolate, and they're so toned. Whew. All of them are invited. If I ever threw a house party or a barbecue, all of his female dancers are invited to my personal barbecue at my place. All of them. And as well, no, shout out to the brothers who also danced them and all. It was cool. No, everybody get high props from me and big props and high praise from me as it relates to the whole Kendrick Lamar experience. Kendrick SZA. It's called the Grand National Tour. It's pretty cool. It is really worth the money. It also was really, for me, an extra treat for the audience as they were preparing for them to get ready. You know how they play the music when people are coming in? They bought their tickets. They're coming from the concessions with their drinks and their food. You know what they played? And I guess now I understand it after having experienced the show. Kendrick Lamar has a lot of Anita Baker in his new CD or his new music that from that Rapture album. I said, well, I'll be damned. Because every song they played, I knew from Anita Baker. He played, let me tell you what he did. The DJ, the sound man who was keeping the audience, know how they play the music as you're coming in? They played nothing but Luther and Anita Baker. They do Anita Baker song, they do a Luther song. And I mean, they must have played, because I have 6 Anita Baker CDs. So I knew every song, I knew which CD. Even songs I think no one else has even heard of except for me. A song like Good Enough from the and Good Love, from that CD. Yeah, and I think it's one or two of her CDs, the only two I don't have, and that's the CD that she did on Blue Note Records, and it has the song on it, that's the remake from Tyrese's song, Have I Told You I Love You, Baby, late last, sorry y'all. But I don't have that CD, and I need to go ahead and, because I think she's made a total of probably 9 CDs that I know of, maybe 8. But I know I'm missing a couple. I bought 6. I love Anita Baker, I swear. But so every song that came on, I knew it. And so I would suggest go and see it if you can tolerate nigga and cussing. Because again, I'm not a prude. But I don't like to listen to rap music, the CD version, because and I say this because the cussing just gets in the way of the music. It's like it's forced. I don't even go and see comedians who cuss because I think it's just overplayed. And especially, and here it goes, I don't go to see black comedians if I can help it. These Comic View, Def Jam comedians, and black folks. You can't go there with no black folks, but don't let no black woman see all those stereotypes. I don't do N-word comedy. It's not funny. I like highbrow. I guess you can't blame me because I watched all the 11 seasons of Frasier. And I love the Golden Girls. Still watch that, and Married with Children, and Cosby Show, and Different World, and I watch highbrow, stuff. I don't never care for gutter humor. Bernie Mac was actually funny. Cat Williams, when he first came out, was funny. But now, he's still Cat Williams. But I never go to a comedy show. I don't go to comedy shows like that. I think the last one I went to out here was when Dick Gregory was here. It was 2015 or 16. Because it was Dick Gregory. He had a young woman on there that opened for him. She was kind of funny. She didn't do any N-word jokes. She didn't curse. She was just, I like intelligent humor. I don't like that. I just don't. I just don't. And so that's the same with music. Again, y'all, I'm 56, so I like lyrics. I like words. I like stuff that moves you. And I bob my head. I jam to DNA, and of course he played "They Not Like Us," and that damn near tore the roof off the place. And then it was interesting. Just before I went to the concert, before the concert, I just watched on social media and people reporting. People are tired of him with the Drake diss song. They're tired of that. People want him to move on. And blah blah blah. And they were putting up tweets that people said. Let me tell y'all something. Social media and real life are two different things. Because when I got in there, those 70,000 goddamn people couldn't wait for him to play that song. They're not tired of the song. They still love it, and he knows it. And I don't give a damn about him dissing Drake, old punk ass. Fuck Drake. And because I don't like these little mulatto black cosplaying folks in music and acting and all that, and they think because they got a black mama or a black daddy, everybody else in their life and world is white. They get to holler N-word and get to, pretend to be black. And it's what's so interesting when these cosplaying folks, that cosplay blackness, why y'all go straight to the gutter blacks? There are a lot of us who are college educated, who are well-spoken, who are intellectual, but they don't ever go there to identify with that level of blacks. They all go to the gutter. It's just like, you ever notice that when chicks call themselves studs, they try to imitate men. They never imitate the corporate America black men. They always try to, they all look like Lil Wayne. Or they try to look like Big Pun. Or they try to look like, I'm sorry, not Big Pun, but what's the name? Big Papa. Christopher Wallace. What the fuck is his name? Him. They all try to look like them. They don't ever try to look like when these chicks call themselves being hard studs. They all try to look like the worst of black men. And I always find that amazing. So there are people who actually believe that black America is nigga. That we're just nothing but a bunch of street urchins and broken English, and we got throat tattoos and Chris Brown tattoos all over our bodies like we're a bunch of Molly popping, Hennessy guzzling, blunt smoking in the morning, noon, and after, and at night, motherfuckers. Damn. I get offended by the bullshit. But anyway, shout out to Kendrick. I had a blast. And SZA, y'all give me a minute. It's your man Rico. It's your man Rico. Rico the pianist. Let me go ahead and get on that. I think I don't smoke cigarettes, but I think I'm gonna go to this corner store and get me a loose cool somewhere. Cause y'all be cool. It's your man Rico. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.